were talking earlier about the ones in the very cold countries, which again were always on the set with the huskies panting. And
yes,
so funny. These dogs laying there in the snow. Hey, good afternoon. I'm in a beautiful spot called Sunningdon, and I'm here to see the final resting place of Alexandra Bastedo. Beautiful woman, absolutely gorgeous, honestly. I mean, I watched her when I was a kid in the Champions, and I was a little small then, but even then I realised she was so pretty. Gorgeous. I've just got to say one thing. I've just popped over to the church a minute ago to have a look, and it is the most beautiful one I've seen in a long time. I'm going to spin the camera so you can see, look. There it is. Quaint little church, isn't it? And it's next to a farm, so it's very easy for parking. Up a narrow lane, but you know, yeah, superb. She made her film debut in 1963 in a film called 13 Frightened Girls, and she didn't have a speaking part in that. It was a, you know, a silent part, but that was the beginning of quite a successful career. I mean, let's face it, her beauty must have helped her a great deal along the way. I remember her being beautiful as a kid, you know, watching the Champions with their superpowers. Yeah, they actually got together again in 2006 because they did a voiceover for the series together, you know, for a DVD box set. It was great at the time. I remember watching the series and thinking, ooh, you know, wish I had those powers. She was a very clever lady as well as being beautiful. She could speak French, Italian, Spanish, and what was the other one now? German, yeah, and of course English. So yeah, very clever lady. I don't know, I'm still smitten. I'm kind of, it's not like me, but I think she's just so beautiful, you know. I'm not a sort of what they call a ladies man, you know. I'm not that type of guy, but I just think, yeah, she radiated a kind of beauty. In the 1980s, because of her beauty, probably, she co-presented with Peter Marshall the Miss World competition. If you ask me, she should have won it. And she dated some well-known men. She dated Omar Sharif, but the problem was that while they were going out together, he kept taking other ladies' numbers. Typical man, that, isn't it? Honestly, even I don't trust men, you know. And then she also dated David Frost. I think he'd be a bit more trustworthy, probably. But Steve McQueen, he did the opening line, "My wife doesn't understand me." Honestly, Steve, I don't know. Naughty man.
Realised that around about that time Patrick Litchfield included you in a list of the most beautiful women in the world. That would turn up a girl's head, wouldn't it?
well, it was very nice of him.
It was indeed. I mean, you were seen in the company of, may I say, I'm not implying anything more, people like Steve McQueen and Warren Beatty and Omar Sharif. Did you go out with any of those, or was it just...
Well, I mean, a lot of that was obviously the publicity machine. In terms of Steve McQueen, that actually happened because I went to see him about a job on his film about racing cars. And after the audition, he said, let me see you to the elevator. And then he said, I think it's rather important that I see your personality in more relaxed surroundings.
Oh, I must write that down. I remember that one. Right.
And I thought, you know, this is the problem being an actress. Do you actually say no, in which case you haven't got the film part, or do you think, maybe he's just serious, you know, maybe he means this? And of course he didn't really, and so...
But there's always the idea.
Because of all her work, she became very well known in Europe, and she got the nickname LA Bastedo because of all the content that went out. So she was a very prominent actress, really. I still keep thinking of the Champions, I can't stop. Supported animal welfare and was a big supporter for the RSPCA. In fact, I think she was a representative for the local RSPCA, and she was a vegetarian, so yeah, that all shows a sign of somebody who's caring, doesn't it? You know, I kind of understand that. I've never been a vegetarian, but I do like the idea, but I just don't think we're designed for it. But I'm a very softy, I love animals, and so I'm one of the typical ones that want to do it but never do, because I want the food, I want the meat. But she did it, well done to her. Unfortunately, in 2014, the 12th of January, she died in Worthing Hospital, which is sad. She wasn't very old. Alexandra Bastedo was born in Hove, England. Her mother, Liberina Doriano Raskavilova, was of French, German, Italian descent, while her Canadian-born father, Gilbert Lendon Bastedo, was of Spanish, Dutch, Scottish and Native American extraction. She attended Brighton and Hove High School and Brighton School for Drama. Although most familiar to viewers of the 1960s TV as Sharron Macready in The Champions, she was also known for her language skills, speaking Italian, Spanish, French and German. This ability brought her to the attention of 10 Downing Street, where she was employed to assist the translations and landing a role as co-presenter of the Miss World competition with Peter Marshall in 1960. Alexandra dated David Frost and Omar Sharif, but she turned down the advances of Steve McQueen, who, she recalled, propositioned her with the line, "My wife doesn't understand me." In the case of Omar Sharif, the liaison lasted for only a few weeks because of the actor's bridge playing, the odd hours and the fact that he took telephone numbers from other women. Alexandra was a vegetarian and founder of the Alexandra Bastedo Champions, ABC, Animal Sanctuary. In an interview for the BBC television series Where Are They Now?, Alexandra provided a glimpse of her private life. She used to be the president of her local RSPCA branch, but gave up the position in 2008 to dedicate more time to a fast-growing animal sanctuary at her home in West Chillington, West Sussex. Alexandra died of breast cancer on the 12th of January 2014, aged 67, in hospital at Worthing, England. She was buried next to her husband Patrick Garland at St Mary's Church, Sullington, West Sussex. The service was conducted by her local vicar and friend, Reverend Derek Spencer, who had overseen the funeral of her husband Patrick less than 1 year earlier. So we're here now. It's a very, very small graveyard. I know what in fact I've seen. I can't believe that. I just turned around. I'm right in the middle and I've seen it. Look, that's in it, a beautiful spot this. I just love these kind of places because you're away from the hullabaloo. Absolutely gorgeous, but there is where the graves are over there. So we're heading over now. Here we go. She's buried next to her husband. And there we are. That's her husband there, Patrick. Hello, Alexandra. Absolutely beautiful woman you are. I know beauty is given, not achieved, but you had a graciousness, and I think you're a really lovely lady. So let's read the stone. Alexandra, thank you for all the work on TV and for charming me when I was a little boy watching The Champions. It's quite simple, isn't it? It says Alexandra Bastedo Garland, the 9th of March 1946 to the 12th of January 2014. What a shame he didn't live longer. Yeah. And very sweetly next to her husband, look. And it is Patrick Garland, the 10th of April 1935 to the 19th of April 2013. So he passed just a year before her. Yeah, well there we go. Okay, it's time for the flower for Alexandra. And thank you, Patrick. I have come to see this lady, but thank you too. So here we go, spin round, and I'm going to pop the flower here, look, a little bit further back. I think there. That's it, we've got it. Don't want it to come out straight quickly. There we are. That's sweet. Thank you, Alexandra. So there we go. You know, I read a book and it's true, it's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and if I've got one message I always say something at the end, but I did a lot of psychology reading when I was younger, and it's true, nearly every single thing in our lives that we get upset about is small stuff. So don't sweat the small stuff, just don't do it. And remember, when things are going wrong and you're going, oh my God, over things that don't actually matter that much, take a breath and think, what will it matter in 100 years from now, or even 10 years from now, or even a year from now? That's my message, and then get back to feeling good, and you can cope. And if you're tired and you don't feel well, approach your problems when you do feel well. So from me, Alan, Motorhome Beat Beat from this beautiful place, I'll see you all very soon. Take care of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, ding the bell, and give me some comments, because I love those comments, you know. Bye.